3 years ago, a home in Liberty Hill, Texas, just north of Austin, sold for $585,000. That same home just closed last month for $340,000.
There are not enough home buyers for the homes that are for sale right now.
The housing status report shows Dallas is not keeping pace with the demand for housing its taxpayers can't afford.
That's a 42% haircut in what was supposed to be the most unstoppable real estate market in America. And Liberty Hill is not an outlier. It's a preview. Right now, there are 8 Texas cities showing the exact same distress signals: rising inventory, falling prices, and a housing market that entered 2026 on what National Mortgage Professional is calling softer footing, with sales down 8% year over year and active listings at 5.2 months of supply, well above the balanced range. We're going to walk you through all 8, ranked from concerning to catastrophic. City number 3 is the one nobody's talking about, and at the end we'll break down exactly what to do, whether you're an owner, buyer, or seller. But first, you need to understand why Texas is getting hit this hard. 3 forces are colliding at the same time. First, the migration engine is stalling. Texas added just 67,299 domestic migrants in 2025, down from 222,154 in 2022. That's a 70% collapse. And net international migration to the U.S. dropped 54%, projected to fall to just 321,000 by mid-2026. The people pipeline that filled those subdivisions is running dry. Second, Texas overbuilt. The Texas Real Estate Research Center projects 169,000 single-family permits in 2026. All that supply is hitting a market where unsold homes sit for an average of 96 days. Third, foreclosures are surging. Adams' year-end 2025 report shows Texas led the entire nation with 37,215 foreclosure starts and 5,147 bank repossessions, more than Florida, more than California. Houston alone had 3,763 foreclosure starts in a single quarter. Migration collapsing, supply flooding in, foreclosures accelerating. That's the crash recipe. And these 8 cities have all 3 ingredients cooking. City number 8, Fort Worth. Fort Worth rode Dallas's coattails during the boom, but the correction is here. The typical home value sits around $292,000 with year-over-year declines. The outer suburbs saw some of the heaviest building activity in the state during 2022 and 2023. That inventory is now landing in a market where nobody's bidding over asking. If you bought in Hazlitt or Alito at the peak, run your numbers carefully. City number 7, Houston, the biggest market in Texas, and the cracks are showing. Active listings have climbed to roughly 31,350, pushing inventory to 4.5 months, well above the national average of 3.3 months. Prices are down about 3% year over year. Houston had 134 bank repossessions in November 2025 alone. The energy sector is holding certain neighborhoods up, but the suburbs that expanded fastest during COVID are quietly bleeding. City number 6, San Antonio, the affordable workhorse of Texas real estate. But now the average home value has dropped to $256,363, down 3.9% over the past year. Sales in February 2026 fell 7% year over year. Texas saw a 36% increase in completed foreclosures, and San Antonio is one of the metros feeling it hardest. 1 in every 2,326 housing units facing a foreclosure filing in April 2025. Affordability was the pitch. When property taxes and insurance erode it, the pitch breaks. Real quick, if this market intel is helping you, hit that notification bell. We drop new data every week, and the viewers who catch it first get the best opportunities. City number 5, Killeen Temple, the most overlooked metro in the state. Killeen's economy is dominated by Fort Cavazos, the largest active-duty military installation in the Western Hemisphere. Federal budget uncertainty is sending tremors through a market that was already soft. Builders overbuilt here during the boom, spec homes sit empty, and the buyer pool is overwhelmingly military families who are renting, not buying, at these rates. When your entire economic base depends on one employer and that employer is tightening, the math gets ugly fast. City number 4, Dallas. This one stings. Dallas was supposed to be untouchable, but Redfin data shows Dallas is down 4.1% year over year, the steepest decline among major Texas metros. Prosper, Salina, Melissa, those northern corridors where builders went wild, are feeling the most pressure. Dallas had 116 bank repossessions in November 2025 alone. Sellers are offering concessions they never would have considered 18 months ago. Dallas didn't crash, but if you bought in those northern suburbs at 2022 prices, you are not where you thought you'd be. City number 3, New Braunfels and the I-35 corridor. This is the one I told you about at the top. New Braunfels, Kyle, Buda, San Marcos, this entire stretch between Austin and San Antonio became the poster child of Texas migration growth. Builders put up entire subdivisions overnight, and for a while it worked. But that flood has become a trickle, and the supply built for 2022 era demand is now sitting in a 2026 era market. Some communities are at 8 to 10 months of inventory. Bastrop County on the eastern edge has 10.1 months of housing inventory, deep buyers market territory. Price per square foot is down double digits from peak. The homes that are moving sell well below list. The ones that aren't just sit there with that price-reduced tag getting updated month after month. This corridor was built on a bet that people would keep coming. They stopped. If you're still here, the last two are where it gets serious. Share this with someone who owns in Texas. Don't let them find out 3 months late. City number 2, Round Rock and the Austin suburbs. Round Rock, Cedar Park, Pflugerville, Georgetown. The overflow markets for everyone who couldn't afford Central Austin. There are now 14,103 active listings across the greater Austin metro, up 7.2% from last year, and 47.1% have had at least one price reduction. Let that sink in. Nearly half of all homes for sale have already cut their price and still can't find a buyer. Homes are taking 91 days to sell, the highest since 2011. The metro has 6.5 months of inventory. Builders are still delivering, still offering rate buydowns, and they're eating the resale market alive. If you're a resale seller in Round Rock, you're not competing with your neighbor. You're competing with a builder offering a brand new home with a bought down rate that makes yours look overpriced. City number 1, Austin, the city that was supposed to be the next Silicon Valley, the hottest housing market in America, now 25% below its 2022 peak and still falling. Austin's median sold price is $411,280, down 25.22% from the May 2022 peak. Zillow shows a 6.8% decline over just the past year. Inside the city specifically, the median sold price peaked at $680,000 and is now $545,000, with price per square foot down over 26% from peak. And 47.99% of all active listings have had a price cut. What happened? Remote workers flooded in during COVID, prices went vertical, builders went on an absolute construction spree, then rates climbed, remote work pulled back, and suddenly you have way too many homes chasing way too few buyers. Classic boom bust, textbook edition. Tech layoffs through 2023 and 2024 didn't help. Neither did Austin's sky-high property taxes. A 25% correction plus elevated carrying costs plus oversupply equals a city that could take years to recover. Some analysts say 2028, others say 2030. Nobody serious is saying next year. So there it is, 8 Texas cities: Fort Worth, Houston, San Antonio, Killeen Temple, Dallas, the I-35 corridor, Round Rock, and Austin. Here's what to actually do. If you're a homeowner, check your equity position today, not where it was in 2022, where it is right now. If your equity has thinned below 10%, you need to evaluate whether you can ride out 2 to 3 more years. These corrections don't reverse overnight. If you're a seller, price aggressively on day one. Homes priced to today's market are selling. Homes priced to 2022 are sitting 90 days and getting lowballed. Swallow the ego. If you're a buyer, this is becoming your market. Austin, Dallas, San Antonio, real reductions and motivated sellers for the first time in years. Get pre-approved, negotiate hard, ask for closing cost credits and rate buydowns. Sellers are saying yes to things they would have laughed at 18 months ago. Texas was the promised land of American real estate for 5 straight years. But the migration wave slowed 70%. Builders overbuilt. And now the math is catching up. The one thing you cannot afford to do right now is nothing. Subscribe with the bell on. Drop a comment telling us which city surprised you the most. See you in the next one.